Hey everybody, today we're going to be cooking with a Glock. I know everybody's going to want to see the special recipe. For the recipe, we're going to need your common household toaster oven, and we're going to preheat the oven to just under 200 degrees. About 180 degrees. Don't want it quite over the temperature of water. For the ingredients, we're going to be using some heavy-duty degreaser and some frog lube. So let's get the ingredients apart. So we have to break the ingredients apart so we can continue with the cooking show.
If anybody's interested on where to get a good deal on frog lube, they do sell it at Amazon. We'll have links below to the 4-ounce kit, the 8-ounce kit, and the 1 gallon size. If you can get 4 people to go together and purchase the gallons, a couple of gallons, one of paste and one of the liquid, that way each person could have a half a gallon, 1 quart of each paste and liquid.
Alright, let's give it a final rinse here.
You know, every video I've watched using frog lube, none of the videos actually follow the directions on the insert that comes with it. You have to, on the first few times, the preferred way is to heat the metal up. And when you heat it up, it really needs to be at least hot enough where it's uncomfortable to touch, because it's simple. Metal expands, and the more you expand it, the better. But there's a fine line. You don't want to expand it so much that it's past the boiling point of water. But that's why I try to heat it up between 180 and 200 degrees. You do need to wear gloves when you're messing with this high heat, though.
All right, we are done degreasing the Glock. Just like a chicken, if you're cooking a chicken, you thoroughly clean it. Oven's preheated. We're going to put it in the oven, which will heat up the metal and dry off the metal. All remaining moisture. And through the magic of photography, we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, for further cooking with Glock, it's getting the Glock is hot now, so you may have to use some hand protection here. We're just going to pull out the tray and baste it with a little basting sauce. This is firearms butter. You put it all in there and get it all in the... There's a little metal bar right down in here. Get it all over the metal.
Another thing I've noticed many other videos using frog lube is that after you apply the product, they don't really let it sit, and let it cool down. They put it on, they wait 2 or 3 minutes, and it's like they have no patience. They got to use that firearm immediately. Folks, do it at night before you go to bed. And in the morning, pick it up and wipe it off. Now, you can, like I mentioned, you can leave it a heavier coat on the internal parts, especially in very high humid and salty, like around the ocean. But in a dusty environment, after it's seasoned on there, you will want to wipe it off and, run it dry with the lube in the metal. The Tenifer finish on a Glock doesn't let it makes it even harder to season. And Frog Lube really shines on blued and stainless steel guns where the actual metal of the gun is exposed and not coated. And that's where Frog Lube really shines. So,
all the tiny pieces are pretty well soaking. Frog Lube recommends that you leave the stuff sitting on there for a few hours, or at least for the first couple of times you use it. So we're just going to leave this sit, and through the magic of photography, we will come back in a few hours and put this together. Okay, normally we'd wipe this off, all that excess, but this gun is going into storage. So what I'll be doing is, after I put it together, I'll leave the excess Frog Lube on every place except the maybe the channel where the firing pin goes. And I'm just going to put it together, leave the excess on it. Frog Lube also recommends, oh, by the way, this is set overnight, and that's the best way to do it. Frog Lube also tells you plainly, if you're in a high humidity or salt environment, you don't have to wipe off the inside. You can actually leave a coating of the film, the greasy film of Frog Lube in there. It's not going to hurt anything. You're not in a dusty environment. Now, if you're in a dusty desert environment, you would wipe it clean and run it dry, because after about 2 applications like this, your metal has become seasoned and it's in the metal, so you don't really need it on there. However, in a high humidity, but this one's going in storage, so I'm using the Frog Lube as a replacement for Cosmoline. And let's put the other piece in here first.
there we go. Putting it back together at this high speed. So, folks, that's how you cook with a Glock. You probably thought it was going to be something even stupider. Just a stupid title. Like I say, the Tenifer finish doesn't really absorb as well. But you know what? I've got a nickel boron bolt, and you put Frog Lube on that nickel boron bolt, and you can't even hold on to that thing, even when you wipe it dry, because I wondered why, and I looked at a highly magnified version, section of nickel boron finish, and it's highly porous. I mean, it's very uniform, and that's why when 2 nickel boron pieces rub together, they act like almost like lubricity, and lubricant isn't necessary. But with the small particle size of Frog Lube, when you heat up that nickel boron thing, and that Frog Lube can get into all those little spaces in between the nickel boron, then you've got a super slick thing. So, hey, if you got a nickel boron bolt, Frog Lube was made for that. Oh, and as far as like the older guns, like the Mosin Nugent, and the older ones where the metals that they were using and the steels weren't as finely grained as what we have today. Oh, Frog Lube was made for those older guns. It just loosens up actions and everything. I mean, I've never seen a product as good as Frog Lube for the older and the antique guns. I mean, if you got an old lever action or something like that, you've got to use Frog Lube on that. That you will notice a night and day finish on that. I mean, you notice if you can notice a difference on the modern Glock, you put it on a 1800 Colt or something like that, you will just be totally amazed with that. That is That's where it really, really shines. And like I said, on guns that don't have Teflon finishes and all like that, the Tenifer, it's really, really good on that. Any exposed metal. All I can say is look at the link below and give it a try. Get the small size.